here, we have our first look at two teams that have started off strong. They're playing winning football. They're starting to really understand what their identity is as a team. And for this stage of the season, this is one of the better matchups we've seen so far, and it's going to go a long way continuing to unravel who are the teams we're going to be talking about come the end of the regular season.
So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set, and off we go here on EA Sports. And this will not be returned. It's an opening touchback. The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the young man in his second season in the NFL.
They find themselves coming off a win last week that came right down to the end, and the best teams in the NFL, Mike, they can win close games, and they can win different style games. You're not going to blow people out consistently in the NFL. The league is just too good and has too much parity. But the teams that are the best in one-score games, they're often the ones finding themselves in the best position come playoff time. Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. Back to throw. He's got it downfield. Miles the connection. They get 24 on that ball. Good for a Raider first down. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. That's caught. It's the tight end, Brock Bowers. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Here's 1st and 10. Raiders first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll look to throw. They'll go right back to Bowers. He's got it again. And he's close to another first down. Brought down just shy of the market. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They'll look to throw again. Quickly to the outside and complete. 13 yards on that pass play. First down, Vegas. First and 10 at the 12-yard line. Red zone now. He'll drop to throw. He'll tuck it and take off.
Let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
He'll look to throw. That's a short one. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down. Brings up 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. It's over the middle and intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 6.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. It's hard to now start envisioning scoring a touchdown. That interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
The Miami offense will make their way onto the field, led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, the nice thing about the NFL, Mike, is there's always next week. If you're coming off a good game, you got to put it to bed and come back and play well again. But in this case, things could not have gone much worse for this guy last week in that performance. So this game couldn't come fast enough. He said he had a great week of practice. He was able to put that behind him mentally and physically. And they're going to need him to play a lot better. They're going to come away today with him.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. And he'll have the Dolphins first down as he'll get this one up to the 19-yard line.
I remember early in my career, Mike, this was only just starting to kind of become in vogue. Receivers would maybe get a few carries a year at most. Now, it's become commonplace throughout the NFL, and watching these results, I kind of get it. I wish we had gotten them involved as runners maybe a little bit sooner.
2 and out on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They got him.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane intact. And what that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Now Tua. As he threw the pass is incomplete. Trying to set up that screen, but the rush got there too quickly.
This pass rush is continuing to make their presence felt here in the early going. And for this quarterback, he's lucky to at least get rid of that ball because they're on the verge of recording their second sack, and we're still here in the first quarter.
Oh, got him again the second time with a sack on this opening drive. So on fourth down, Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. As he'll be standing just inside the back line of the end zone. This will be returned to the other side of midfield. And it's a good return here, able to take it across the 50. Set up the offense with a short field. The Raiders offense going to take over now for the second time. They'll start with a short field, looking for the first points of this contest. And they'll begin 1st and 10. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete, but a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Now they'll set up to throw. The 2nd down throw is incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
And this is going to be incomplete. Great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. That's going to be out of bounds, no return. And the drive's going to start just inside the 20-yard line. Dolphins offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. Opening carry of the game for the speedster, Devon Achane. He'll manage only a couple. Big Christian Boogie slows one down. Look him up on a 2nd down and 8. They run out of the gun and tag on the reverse. And no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line. They get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. Incomplete. They could not hook up. What will be the final play of this first quarter? Here's Jake Bailey now, as he's on to punt for the 2nd straight drive. Oh, how about the coverage there? Met and dropped before he can get a return goal. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. They'll start out 1st down and 10. They'll get this out wide. And they'll get about half what they needed to pick up a 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line.
All right. And here's Mason. And this is going to be a Raiders first down. Gets into about the 44.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
In motion is Myers. They'll get creative here on the jet sweep. Not much happening there, just a short game. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll throw out of the gun. Position. You're very familiar with that. That catch and carry. What an ability for your tight end to take it to the house.
Yeah, this was never really the strength of my game, Mike, but we're seeing so many tight ends around the league who not only are great at securing the catch and making the tough ones, but it's their ability to extend the play after the catch that's separating them, just like we saw here.
Now return coming from the 7. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Out goes Miami and the offense to get started on their next drive. They'll be hoping to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 our score as this drive begins with a first down. On the ground to start the drive, it's Achane. And he'll get about 5 past the 30-yard line. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Quick throw, out wide. It's caught. First time they've looked his way tonight. Good time to do it. It's a first down. Here's a give to Achane. No order to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. He throws right side down the field, and it is brought in. The first-round pick looking right at home in this offense. It's a first down.
And the golden first down.
They'll toss it here to Achane. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. We'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Here's Achane. And nothing on that one back to the line of scrimmage. And that is it.
Depending on the situation or the down the distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. This
is intercepted. And the Raiders will take over possession here at the 44.
I think he chalked this one up like just a rookie mistake. And tell you the young center, we're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
2 minutes remaining. First half in a 7-0 game. Back with more of this Thursday opener after this. 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. He gets this one to Tucker. And he'll be brought down after a short pickup. And is enough for a first down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as possible, and sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. Really nice job there by the quarterback. Get into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
He'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Throwing now from the gun. He'll go right and find his running back. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. Gets that one complete to his tight end Downs. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts. As the clock is stopped with 35 seconds to go in this 2nd quarter. Now, faking the give. That's deep to the back of the end zone. Jalen Ramsey, he is tough to throw on. They're going to bat that one away.
So, of course, you prefer to connect on that throw, but think about it like this, Mike. The more they continue to test this defense downfield, the more it's going to open up some of those shorter passes underneath.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. And he'll be very close to a 1st down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot. Don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Out comes Jake Bates to try a field goal here. This will be a 41-yard attempt. Bates' kick is good. And the Raiders tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the 1st half. Leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the 1st half. And the kickoff's coming their way. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's brought down right the 25-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. And no place to go, no place to hide. He's taken down behind the line. Now Miami going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. Finding room at the 35. And he'll be taken down up past the 40-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in the 1st half, a timeout is called. On 1st and 10, here's Tua. He'll take a shot here for the end zone.
These are the plays that when you look back, Mike, they ultimately decide the outcome of the game. There's no time left on the clock. All they're trying to do is take a shot into the end zone. You've got to get depth. You've got to have guys that can go up and high point and compete for the ball, and you've just got to knock this ball down and go into halftime.
Jason Sanders on for the point after. The kick here is good. And one more point, and that takes us to the end of the first half.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Greg in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up later this weekend around the NFL. As far as the early games go on Sunday, we'll have our eye on Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A big one for the Chiefs, as they'll have to contend with the New England Patriots. More good stuff later in the afternoon. One being down.
And apparently we'll forget about that for the moment and turn our attention to quarter number 3. Let's go. Three points, all that separates these two sides, as half number 2 kicks off. On the return, Malik Washington. Now an opening past the 30. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. The Dolphins offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides. This drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver knew what was going on. It's incomplete.
They just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. They'll go up here, 1st and 10. Back to throw. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down. They'll look to throw yet again. Now a screen set up for A-Check. Get about 6 before he's taken down. Here's a 3rd down and 4. Again, it's Tua. That pass sideline is caught. Nice catch. Stays in bounds. And he's got the 1st down. Terrific job with the feet to make that one a grab. Tua, give it to Achan. And the woes in the running game continue. We're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Raiders' 32-yard line.
Once again, it's Achan. And some good blocking. Springing up a gain of 9 as we get to 3rd down.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
He'll try and run it here. It's Achan. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down by a couple of yards. Give him 4 yards. It was 3rd and 2 as they convert.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the 1st down, and they're able to convert.
They'll stay on the ground with Achan, and he'll get about 5.
He's brought down at the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
On the ground, this is Jalen Wright. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it. They've converted 2 third downs already on this drive. And here's 3rd and 4. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. It gets them down to the 6.
I like the element of surprise here, Mike. It seemed like everyone was so keyed elsewhere on the play that nobody even gave a thought to him potentially getting the run. Didn't take him long to see he was going to be able to clearly pick up that 1st down.
Here's H.M. They'll come up with nothing there. Fortunately, just to get back to the line. And that'll set up 2nd and goal.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're able to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blocker, make the stop, and keep it to no gain.
From back at the 9, and it's 3rd down and goal. They'll run with H.M. And he's going nowhere. Met and dropped behind the line. And now it's 4th and goal. Jason Sanders on to drive a field goal. This is about as short as you can get. Sanders' kick is good. The Dolphins will level the score at 10 apiece.
So touchdowns are always the primary goal of every drive. But when you find yourself down 3 here in the 2nd half, you've just got to find a way to tie the game up. And they were able to do that here.
This one will be taken in the end zone. No run back forthcoming. And the ball coming out to the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this 2nd half. They'll see if they can go about breaking our tie. We're all even at 10 as this drive begins. 1st and 10. A gain of 16. Good enough for a 1st down.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But, Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. It's a great example why.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. They couldn't hook up there. As time has expired, the 3rd quarter has come to an end. Wow, an important one coming here. Tie game, late, and this is 3rd down. To be pulled in, it's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And we will not have a return here. This one angled out of bounds. The Dolphins offense ready to take over possession of the football. We're all even. 4th quarter, so every drive so important at this stage. And they'll start with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's 18. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
This has been the story of the entire game, Mike. It's just how well this defense has played, particularly against the run. There has been nowhere to operate for this offense, and it continued here on this last play.
To throw on 2nd down, it's Tua. His throw left side is complete. He'll be brought down around the 38-yard line. A On first down, here's Tagovailoa to throw. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down. Back to throw is Tua. They'll try to hit him with a screen. He's not going to get too far on tackle after a gain of just a yard. Here's a 2nd and 9. A run out of the gun with Achane. And he will work this down inside the 40. That's going to be good enough to move the chains. First down.
A gain of 9 yards. And the golden first down. On the handoff, this is Achane. And he'll work his way down inside the 30. Chewing on 7 yards on that one. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. With Achane. And he'll take this one forward for about 3. And that's a first down.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they could get themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
On 1st and 10, it's a handoff. Wait a minute, it's a reverse. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
score is now 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6. Now the Dolphins going to use the first of their timeouts. Here's a 2nd and 6. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down. The sound deafening in the dome. It's 3rd down. Now it's H.A. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Plenty of time, plus 2 timeouts at their disposal. It's 1st and 10. H.A. He did a good job of making him manage, but could not get away from this defense in the end. It turns into a loss of yards.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
They'll run. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with 1st and goal. He couldn't quite break the plane, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. Run with H.A. Good blocking, and he's in. Devon H.A. Touchdown, Miami. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score, and Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
So the lead is 7 now. Here in this 4th quarter, the tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decided not to bring it out. They'll take over at the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense ready for this next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. They'll drop to throw. It's a short one by Bowers. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. He'll look to throw. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the 1st down. They'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1. That is incomplete. Here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's 4th down.
They desperately needed that one, Mike. Down here late, they've only got a few remaining snaps to go, and it puts all of the pressure of the game now on 4th down. Let's see what play call they have in a gotta-have-it situation, and right now, This quarterback needs to make his best throw in the biggest moment of the game. And that stop right there will do it. Even though they have 2 timeouts remaining, there's just not enough time on the clock to get another attempt. What a huge stop with the game on the line, and that will all but end this game.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Tua to take a knee, and that should be the final act in this one. Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Tua to take a knee, and that should be the final act in this one. The last 2 runs each lost a yard. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 12. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So, a win here for the visiting Dolphins. They're able to erase the memories from a week ago. Game they really did struggle in. It looked like a different group here as they respond with a solid victory. So, that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Vegas.